Ryan, after that kind of an emotional win, Coach Saban was in here talking about making sure guys come back focused for Mississippi State. How much did the upperclassmen play a role in that? Do you guys kind of, I guess, for lack of a better term, police the rest of the team during the week?
I mean, absolutely. The older guys who have been here, been in these situations, know what it takes to come off a big win because statistically, and you look at in the past, statistically, people after a big win they don't play as well the next week because they're still focused on, or they're thinking about what happened last week. But enough guys have been here where we know what has to happen this week, starting today, and Mississippi State has a good team, so we got to get ready.
What does need to happen? I mean, it's one thing to say, it's another thing to do. Or what do you guys do?
You just have to have high energy all week at practice, and it just can't change. From week to week, it's got to be the same thing. We'll go over today what kind of defense they run, all that kind of stuff, and just keep getting back into the routine of things.
Talk about the patience of Kenyan Drake, a guy that's bounced back from injury, kind of struggled throughout the year, but against LSU, you really saw the explosiveness and the patience. Just talk about that for a moment.
Well, I mean, I think Drake's had a little bit different role than he has in the past, and if you were on that field against Ole Miss last year, you just really appreciate how hard that kid works, and we all knew he was going to be back, just full strength and just regular Kenyan Drake that we all know, and you just can't say enough about how much how hard he works, especially at different positions or whatever it is, just to get the team to win.
One word that Nick Saban continues to bring up is maturity, and might seem like a strange question, but is there a way to quantify maturity? I mean, when you look at your teammates, as one of the older guys on the team, is there certain things you pick up on that you see?
I mean, I don't think you can do maturity just based on years, because I know there's some freshmen who've really matured, just in their first year. But I mean, I think as the season goes on, you learn, and different situations you just kind of build on. Just put them in the memory bank for later. So just like this week, where we know coming off a big win last week, we have to have another really great game on Saturday. So a lot of guys who've been on this team and have been around these situations get the younger guys ready.
And is this team have maybe a little more maturity than some of the years past?
I mean, we have a lot of seniors, but I mean, honestly, I think every team identity is a little bit different. This one, I can say, probably does. We have a lot of guys who are older, a lot of guys who have seen a lot of football games, and a lot of guys who are just really ready to win, and that's what we're going to do.
You guys have had big wins this season. You've beaten top 10 teams this season, but just the reaction from guys afterwards, this one seemed different. Was this win different?
I think so. It was a lot of guys' last SEC game in Bryant-Denny. It was a big game for us, especially because it's kind of the turning point in the season. Especially it was November. The best teams and they play their best football in November, and that's what we try to do. But it really wasn't about going out there and make big plays. It was about just doing your job. Coach Saban said it from day one. It was about doing your job, doing your box, and just competing the way we always have, and that's what we did. And I think we put together the most complete game as an entire team.
How do you prepare for the cowbells?
We always do. They redefine. Not honestly redefine. But they do crowd noise, like simulations out there. So I'm sure they'll do that. Mississippi State's really, it's a hard place to play. Anywhere is in the SEC on the away games. We know that it's going to be a packed house, but that's just one of the bigger challenges for the week is we'll just communicate. And I think we play pretty well on the road, so feeling pretty good about it.
Every week we ask you about how physical a game is going to be, but it seems like, at least talking in years past, the LSU game is almost a different level of physicality in some ways. How are you feeling? How do you think the team is feeling in that regard?
I mean, every SEC game is physical. I mean, Mississippi State, they always play us tough every single year. So we're to be ready this week as well. LSU, that was a great test for us too. They had a great front seven, but I know Mississippi State does as well. A lot of guys just taking care of your bodies because this is the later half of the season. Towards the end, this is when a lot of guys are breaking down. So that's one of the biggest things that's been pushing on us is nutrition and recovery. So that's what a lot of guys are taking care of.
Do you feel like this team is peaking at the right time, and do you feel like you've established that identity that Coach talks about?
I mean, I think you're always working to establish an identity. It's never, you never arrive as a team, and things aren't always just going to be, going uphill. There's always going to be, peaks and valleys. You have to keep going up and down, and just keep pushing through every single day. So for us, it's just about getting better, day in and day out. Right now we're just focused on Mississippi State. We'll take it one day at a time and just keep moving forward.
How would you describe A'Shawn's block? Is he blocking or is he just moving the pile? I mean, just plowing in and moving in?
I mean, he has an assignment, but obviously certain things happen at the goal line. Things change. We knew LSU would probably try to match, or they were going to match us in the goal line. I think we have a really good offense or goal line offense. So we brought Ashawn down there, a little bit more muscle. We did that in 2012 with Jesse too. So we'll go back and watch the film, but at certain points, at the goal line, you got pretty much the entire team within a box that's not very big. So it's kind of just drive the pile, and it's kind of like a scrum in rugby. So
can you kind of sometimes feel if somebody hits from behind and there's a little sudden jolt or something like that?
I mean, yeah, you can. Some of the plays we run, it's not just a dive play or whatever, but no, he does a great job for us, and we'll see if we can keep using him.